Morning all. Happy Humans Rights Day. Start just now, up as normal. Morning, Emery. Morning, Jacob. Yeah, I think Julius Malema seems to be taking up most of the airtime on it. Yeah. Okay, hop us. Let's get started. Okay, look, the Nasdaq's having a bit of a bounce up. I don't think there's any particular reason for it, not that I can find. Subscribe to a couple of things, and I just think still a bit of noise out there. We're still waiting for the big one tomorrow. What Jerome Powell's going to do. Lagarde speaking again today, although yesterday it didn't really happen much, but she's speaking again today later on. On the calendar, economic calendar basis, we've got the CPI in Canada coming out. We make a big issue of it. I'm just mentioning it. Yeah, the big boy is tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the evening. Just be aware of that. As per normal, I'm just going to give you the calendar. I think you've all got it, but I'll do it. It won't take long. Just remember to have it handy, just to check on it. Just so you don't jump in or not aware of something happening when it should be happening. And I'll do the dollar index as well. Doesn't take long either. Just do it quickly for you. You got it, doesn't matter. It takes so little time. Okay. I think it's going to be a fairly quiet session today. Don't think there's going to be too much happening. We can go over a couple. We've got a wide stop on this one. It's not exactly going the way it was yesterday, but the noise is up. So resistance around this level, will it hold or not? I don't know. It's drifting around. It's a bit aimless, different bit aimlessly at the moment. Same with the Dow. I hope we all sorted out now the difference between the Dow normal and the Dow micro. The Dow micro is the one you want to be on if you've got smaller accounts, not the bigger one. Leave it alone if you haven't got a bigger account, because as I say, you need a very wide stop. But when you're dealing with indices, because they can be very volatile, it's still popping around. It's down about 100 and something pips. It's not the end of the world. We got the stop up here somewhere, so we hopefully be all right there. Now, trades-wise, yeah, CAD CHF hit the stop loss. I think the GBP CHF is not looking pretty. Some might have hit the stop, I'm not sure. I think some were stopped out on that as well. Not pretty at all. I thought it was going to hold there. Clearly it didn't. It took it out. Clearly the Swiss franc, never mind the pound, is still very weak. I thought most of that was discounted. A lot of indecision, so very difficult. Anyway, that happened. It happens. One of those things, yeah. Hit the stop loss TP. Yep, it happens. What else? A couple of guys want to go for the pound dollar. Not much happening there, but I can't see either side as shorting or buying is wrong. It's actually exactly the same. We're going at 22.55. 24 hours later, it's still 24, but the next day, still the same, hovering around there. Okay, still on the GBP Chef. Well, let's have a look at it. Go back to look at that one. Okay. Yeah, well, it's clearly in the buy zone now. Very much indecision. I just don't believe that the pound is that strong. The Swiss franc overall is that weak. So I'm not sure we can sustain much movement above this sort of level here. So it's only what 20 odd pips away, 25 pips away. Something like that. But if you're in, your stops above here, maybe it'll come. It's just very difficult to call the short term at best of time, never mind at the moment. Okay, it's just so much indecision out there. But anyway, we do what we could. Okay, the couple we did get into, AUD USD, I think it's faring a little bit better, 67.10. Not a lot, but at least it's in the blue. 67.10, at least that's in the blue. So we'll see how that goes. 1.145, okay, sure. Sounds good to me. Sounds pretty good to me. 1.1450. It's above these guys here. The last time it was there was 15 December. What's that? Just over 3 months ago. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Happy with that. Morning, Tandy. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. No problem there. Okay. Morning, Tandy. Just welcome. Call it sort of the trading family, if you like. When you're doing well, it's trading Marines. When we're not doing well, it's trading Les Miserables. But anyway, that being as it may, welcome. And pick up what you can. Interact. A forum. It's not so much a class. It's a forum to discuss strategies, trade ideas, things like that. All I ask in return is the fact you know how to operate a platform and you have done the basics. We start doing about micros and minis and standard lots and that. You know what we're talking about. You know, we talk about a CFD share compared to a, let's say, a Forex or an indice or a commodity. You know, they're different. I know the differences. That's the basis of the theory on the classes. If you mean when you come in here and you know absolutely nothing, some have heard of the Forex, some heard of shares, and that's it. At the end of a couple of classes, simply because you might get a little bit what's going on here. Don't want to get into fright now. Just pick up stuff as you go along. Always remember, you don't pick up a skill in a short period of time. It takes time. Even if you're naturally gifted, it takes time. Okay. And always remember, position sizing, have a position size calculator, and remember there's millions and millions of buyers and sellers in the world with different opinions. So don't expect anybody to be 100% on it. It's one of those things, okay? If you get them wrong, that's why you have the correct volumes. You take a loss, it's within your comfort zone, and then I'll go on to the next one, which might be a win. We do our best, but we take losses as well as wins. You know how to modify your stock, normal story. Gain your skills, okay? Remember, it's a zero-sum game. If you're losing 10, you're probably giving the money to someone who's got more skills. So make sure you're the person who gets the money from the less skilled person. That's about the best way I can put it. Okay, so yeah, I'm quite with the stop up there. That's out of the way, that's fine. You want to look at the dollar rand. Don't forget, this is called an exotic, guys. If you look at anything outside the crosses and the majors, it's called an exotic. The ZAR is an exotic. That means it's higher deposit or margin, and it will attract higher costs. If you want to know what the costs are, you left click, right click, go to specifications, and there it comes. The costs are high, 25 pips. Just bear that in mind, and the deposit you will find slightly higher. So just bear that in mind. So if you've got just starting or a limited account size, rather avoid it. That's for when you've got a little bit more experience and understand the differentials. Not for a guy who's a complete beginner to play around with it. Not difficult, it's just you've got to understand a few things. Okay. Good. Okay, so it's interaction. I'm hosting it. We try and make it where we interact together. Okay, Tanvi, anybody else there? Make sure you've got a copy of what I've just posted there of the economic calendar, vital, and the dollar index, also very important. Okay, so I wouldn't even see a trade now. Anyway, it's hovering. I cannot even begin to guess direction on that. Will it come back again or what? Depends on the dollar. What's happening tomorrow with Jerome Powell, is the chairman of the Fed. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed. But the ZAR can be quite strange as well. We've got a lot of interesting things going on in South Africa, as we all know. So I would, even with tighter spreads and smaller margins, I'd be a little bit careful trading now. Time to get in was a break above here, basically, or even down there, obviously, in hindsight, but I wouldn't be playing around with it now. Okay, my views stay aside on that one. So we got the AUD USD. Oh, yes, the US dollar CAD was another one. We took it 3,666. That's about coming up to well, just over 15 pips, 60 profit. So that's not too bad. Remember, you get in the spreads are different too. You get on a buy or a long on this side, and you sell on that and you exit. That's the market maker spread. If you sell, you get at that price, get out of that. Okay, that's the brokerage, if you like. Just bear that in mind. Okay, so yeah, it's not doing too bad. It's AUD, USD, CAD. It's not doing too badly at the moment. Oh yes, Brent, thank you very much. Brent also, we got out in the 70s somewhere. Brent now is doing okay. I suggest you move your stop loss to entry yesterday, just in case. Don't make a winner into a loser, just to protect yourself and see if it rides further up. Clearly it has done, so you should all still be in it. I don't know why you're taking profit, which you did. That's probably more emotion than anything else. As long as you're protected, what's the point? We could get some more out of that. Okay. Well, it's not simply true. You might think, a lot of indicators bring it back down. Why come out to break even? You can take a $2 a barrel profit. Okay, but anyway, so it's up a couple of dollars a barrel at the moment. Let it run. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't let it run. It's not really going anywhere. There's no big fundamentals pushing at the moment, so it might drift a bit. If you've got your stop in at 70, whatever it is, you enter that below 71, then you're protected, etc. Okay, not much. Don't see much going out there is going to drive it in a specific direction. So all you're going to get is the up and down noise as the buyers and sellers are taking shorter term profits. Often the question comes in, how long do you think you'll be in a trade? The answer is nobody knows. Depends on the market. It can be very quick, it can be very slow. Look at it. Look at this candle here. This candle's a day candle, correct? Yep. And how much was it? 50 odd pips. Run the day one, yeah. And this candle here, let's look at this one here. This candle here is also a day candle. It's on 12 pips. It could be a while, it could be short term. I don't know. Nobody does. You can always adjust anytime you like, and that's the way to look at it. We can't give you examples. Go
on. Yesterday, I found out that I hit the CAD CHF stop loss. I set all the risk management, but I just wanted to figure out, maybe could I be the one who did something wrong, or maybe the markets went against me?
Well, I stopped out as well, so we did something wrong. We did it together, my friend.
Okay.
Simple as that. No, simple as that. Okay. Once you enter a trade, remember there's millions and millions and millions of people out there also trading with different points of view, different emotions, etc. As long as you got your position size right, and there was some sort of reason that you went in there, you know what I'm saying. There's some sort of reason. Okay. It was in the sell zone. You sold it, came up, seemed to be coming off. The Swiss franc at the time seemed strongish. The Canadian seemed a bit weak. You went in with some form of strategy. That's it. If you went in because it looked low, or it had a red, or had a blue, or a green candle, or you felt like doing it, that's not a strategy. That's an emotional. But if you get in with a trade idea and you understood where it came from, in other words, you went in with a purpose. You decide you want to be a lawyer. I can't guarantee you'll get your degree. I can't guarantee you'll get a job afterwards. All I'm asking you, are you interested in law, or you're going to law because dad said so, mum said so, or you heard lawyers make a lot of money? That's not a reason to go and study law. You know what I mean? If you went in, put the effort in, and somehow it went wrong, fair enough. But if you pass, yeah, you get my point. So yeah, that's why you have a stop loss. Simple as that. A lot of emotions out there can behave, and fundamental news can act differently. Like a CPI comes out or something like that. We don't know what's going to be a result. And not just that, they'll even tell you economic calendar what you should expect from the currencies above or below the expectation. Often that doesn't occur because emotional expectations can be very different to the normal expectation, for want of a better word. As long as your strategy's correct, you got your volumes right, that's fine. I'd rather, I hate to say it sounds stupid, if you're wrong with the right strategy than right with the wrong strategy, because you cannot continue being lucky. And if you have the right strategy and the right discipline, what I've been doing for a while, you should come right at the end. You're going to have good runs and you're going to have fantastic runs, and you're going to have some bad runs and you get some sorry, terrible ones. It's always going to be normal to doubt. I watch often top golfers, they'll say, are you going to change your swing? And it says, no, I'm happy with the swing. I've gone through a period that happens to everybody. It'll come right. I'm happy with the swing. Don't change the whole tune every time we get a bad day, and then you'll go around in circles, decreasing circles. That's the best way to put it. You win some, you lose some. Once you put the trading in, it's then up to the market what happens. And remember, we cannot predict the market, because the day we predict the market, you will not have a market, because it takes a counterparty every time you enter. If everyone's buying, you've got no sellers. So how can you enter the market? How can you exit the market if you want to sell and there's no buyers? The idea. So you've got to have. Okay.
I thought I should go back to the drawing board and then
no, I don't think so. Well, you haven't been doing that long, and naturally you want to learn quickly, because there's a relative human reason for that. When you don't know, you're not in control. It's emotional. Everyone's like that. You're not in control. And you don't like, no human being likes not to be in control. Unfortunately, it takes a bit of time to get the idea. So as long as you say, I cannot be a doctor until I've done some studying, you just need to stick with it, have the interest, attend the classes, and you start getting instinct and you get better. But do not go into taking it personal, blame yourself. If you went into collective trade, which we agreed in the trading room was a good trade, and it goes wrong, do not take it as a personal attack. You got the position size right, you got the volumes right, you made a decision based on the knowledge that you had at that moment. What happens in the future is out of your control. You drive perfectly. You didn't have some drunk driver who's going to jump the robots and hit you. That was not your fault. You get the idea. Only time it's your fault.
Thank you very much.
You didn't, and just not just you, everyone. You went in too big. You didn't have any particular strategy or understanding why. You thought you'd take a chance. You got lucky one day, unlucky the next. That is slightly different. As long as you knew your stuff and you take. So I'm quite happy, more than happy. In fact, and if it makes you feel bad, I got stopped out as well. Okay.
Thank you for the wisdom, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. I'm sorry I went on a bit there, Wandile, but it was not. It's a quite important question I want to put out for everybody. It's a natural human reaction, and we did have a new person coming in there. And they'll be coming across with this sort of thing as well. They will get doubts. I get doubts. And sometimes the other worse actually happens when you get overconfident. You get a good run and you think you're financial guru. You think the financial gods. And that's the most vulnerable to overexpose, get ahead of yourself. And that's usually happens a few seconds before a fall. So just keep the discipline and humility. Probably the best thing. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Fantastic.
Thank you very much, sir, for the trading room.
Pleasure. Okay. Right now, and Poe, you said $24 profit, Poe $15, that's fine. Always remember, a $24 profit is basically meaningless. It's going to be in pips. You know what I'm saying? Or in gold, in how many dollar per ounce profit, and Brent's how many dollar per profit. Because the $24, we haven't got any $1 million accounts in here, but let's say we did. $24 profit is not very much. But if a guy's got $50, it's an astronomical profit, because it's 50% over a few days. So it's always relative. So rather going, I made 50 pips or 30 pips. Having said that, well bloody done. You cannot, that's another good point, Bo, you will not get the bottom of the top. I know that high is there after the event. I certainly didn't know it before the event. Nobody does. Sometimes you get lucky. Like, you guess the time twice a day. A broken clock is right twice a day, because it'll come to 12 o'clock. It broke to 12 o'clock sometimes. You get the idea. And sometimes you're going to get lucky. But to try, and you can't. So 2040 might have got there. The point is you go out with $15. You didn't go out with $5 or a loss. That's important. And that obviously is nice. But again, obviously it depends on the size of your account. You're probably disappointed if you had a $10,000 account. You'd probably be extremely happy if you had a $500 account. So work on percentages, guys. If I say I made 1,000 Rand, that means nothing. If I had a 1,000 Rand account That's 100% profit. That's horrendous. If I've got £1 million account, 1,000 Rand is what? £1 million, it's a 1% profit, which is better than a loss, but it's nothing special. So just remember that. Work on percentages rather than amounts. A lot of guys say, if I put in 5 grand, can I make 100 Rand a day? 5 grand to you, when you give it out to the market, in your head is a lot of money. 100 Rand a day doesn't sound much. So work back in percentages. 100 Rand a day on 5 grand. Let's put in percentage. 20 trade, remember, you don't, weekend is closed. 20 plus minus, not exactly, but plus minus 20 trading days a month. 20 times 100 is 2,000. What is 2,000 percentage of 5,000? It's 40%. What investment will gives you a return of 480% a year or 40% a month? None. You get some phenomenal jumps, but that's like winning the lottery. I'm sure on a consistent basis, no. So 100 Rand a day on 5 grand is an astronomical return. Don't expect that. If you're doing very well, expect 40 to 50% a year. We normally work on about 4% a month. That's what the pros look at on a consistent basis. When you got the money, got the knowledge, got the experience, put the effort in, had done it some time, got the right equipment, proper Wi-Fi, that's what you'd be aiming at. Not 40% a month, 40, 50% per year. You have bad years and good years like anything else. And you put it back in perspective. And they'll take out some of the ridiculous goals that's set financially, only when they're so ridiculously high, you're going to be getting disappointment. Hope that makes sense. Don't program yourself the goal that can't be attained. Don't be rude, but I'm prepared to bet none of you ever going to run as fast as, what's his name, Bolt, you know, the Olympic bloody champion there. What's his first name again? Anyway, Bolt, you know the guy I'm talking about. I'm going to bet none of you are going to play as well as Federer or Djokovic in tennis. Don't say, I bought this book on tennis and make that expectation. We need to be positive, but we need to be positive as well. Okay. Hussein, that's right. Thank you. Sorry, Vicky. Don't take this the wrong way. Don't be hurt when I say it, but I'm prepared to bet very highly you're never going to beat his 100-meter record. There you are, Vicky. You probably smile, but I'm being slightly ridiculous, but to get the point. Okay. And certainly buying a book on Usain Bolt and 100-meter running won't get you to, because there's a lot of other aspects involved. Remember, only one guy did it. You know what I mean? I'm being ridiculous just to get these sometimes phenomenal goals put in proportion. Okay. Right. Okay. Where were we? So yeah, we got a couple of trades down, not too bad. Sorry about that one. All right, admit it. All right, until you come back yourself, admit it. The trade I put out, a couple of trades I put out, didn't seem to be doing too well. The trades that you guys put out seem to be doing well. It happens. I've been doing this several years. You'll get someone's come in, done it for a couple of months, comes a trade idea, and look how well it is, how good it is, how good it is. I'm sorry, Derek, it might still be in that GBP CHF. Not faring too well. The guys who went out was not my idea at all. It was the dollar CAD and the Aussie dollar. And they're doing, well, not great, but they're doing their profit. That's the major thing, not a loss. So yeah, it's a trading where we learn humility, and don't ever think, once you've been doing this 10 years, you've got a lot of trades right, with some sort of, you know what the next thing's going to happen around the corner. You might have, who's a new person just come in there, suddenly come up with a trade idea, and they beat you, and you've been doing this for 5 years. Suck it up, guys. It'll happen. Say it is. Euro dollar. GBP. You like that?
Suck it up.
Suck it up, guys. Suck it up.
Sorry, I think that is advice. Good advice.
Okay, I'll start with euro dollar. Now, I don't think you're doing it that long, Mr. Laba, but coming up some interesting ones here. And this is an interesting one. Now, the immediate look at that one is that immediately tells me that's a sell. I went for I made some profit. Well done. I mean, that took a bit of nerve. I still think that's going a bit against the trend, but it's a short-term up movement, and in my opinion, a bear trend. Be careful of going against the trend, but it can be done successfully as long as you don't hang around there for too long. You might get an oversold bounce or an overbought retracement, but you don't know what the size of that retracement going against the trend. So if you're going to take it, be bloody quick on it. Don't hang around too long, etc. But I'm not sure the continuation. We got our stops in 200 pips away from where the price is now on the Dow, so I can see it. We'll come back to the NAS in a minute. I'm hoping that strategy is going to work. I mean, it's not going to be too painful. It is not painful. It's going to be annoying, isn't it? Right, euro dollar, see where it's come from. I presume you're looking at a sell on this, not a buy. But you might say it's about to break through. Well, okay. I would say probably more likely as a pullback. The problem is Lagarde speaking today. She's the euro, and you got Powell, the chairman of the Fed. Just a second, just gonna got a lady there doing in the background. So I'm gonna shut this door. So we got we got Powell speaking tomorrow, 8 o'clock, about interest rates. So there could be some fundamental interference on this particular pair, as you can clearly understand. Take that out of the way. Well, personally speaking, I wait a confirmation, but I think that could hold. I'm just going to make it a little bit clearer. All right, it seems to be holding there. Let's take the 4 hour. It seems to, every time it comes off, the buyers are attracting, which is a bit makes me a little bit nervous. See where I'm coming from? Comes off, the buyers are coming in. But is it being sustained? So what am I seeing at the moment is basically what I've just showed you earlier on. A lot of guys are a bit nervous because the fundamental calendar is so important, and these things can cut through any technicals like a knife through melted butter. You get the idea. So they're a bit sort of wary of going long or short. That's why you're getting short-term movements. But take that out of the techniques out of the picture. I would suggest that probably more likely downside, but I'll probably wait for this time a little bit more confirmation. Need to be patient. It's not moving very fast. Let's go to the 15 minute. Look at this 15 minutes. What's this one now? It's only 10 minutes old. 8 pips. It's not so much. The previous 15 minutes was only about 4 pips, which is not exactly shooting the lights out. It's not exactly a Ferrari job, is it? So I probably stand aside for the fundamental fear I've got of these economics coming out. But if I did push to do it, I think there might possibly, after confirmation, be a bit of a pullback. Well, if you're going to go for a long or a short, you didn't say which way. You said, look at the euro dollar, look at the GBP. You didn't say you're going long or short. If you want to look at a trade, just put if you're looking for a sell or a buy, so I can see where you're coming from and discuss it from there. That's the other things, we might have different opinions. I might see a short, you guys might see a long, and I might be wrong, you're right, or vice versa, of course. Then we can discuss it together. And that's actually how we learn. There's a reason behind it. That's the whole point. It's not a thumbs up. Okay. Just to make sure we're on the same page, that's fine. If I was going to short it now, I'll put the stop above here, that's 50 pips. We put it up here, it's 90 pips. You might want to do a shorter term trade with a tighter stop loss, because if tomorrow comes out good for the euro and bad for the dollar, it could easily go straight up there. So I have an 80 pip stop or a 50 doesn't make any difference. So maybe you can do, if you want to do it, maybe a stop up here. Maybe 60 pips stop, and you can take it down to here. You get a decent risk reward even down to here, actually. So you can maybe put the risk reward, make it down here, yeah. Make it to some of those lines. Anybody want to do a short on this one in the meantime, despite those fundamentals? If you want to, I'll put up the risk reward calculator with pleasure. Remember, everyone have it. If you don't have it, go to live chat on the portal and make sure the technical support guys has it downloaded onto your laptop. Don't have it on the phone. Phone's okay, don't care what anyone tells you. If you want to do the job properly, you've got to have knowledge, the right equipment, and you have to have capital. If you don't have the right equipment, you just uphill battle. Don't expect to trade success on the phone. It's designed to be portable, just to check the prices, to modify or close when you're handy and pick and pay. It's not a trading, it's not the right tools. I've even got 2, and having said that, still get them wrong as well. Just go to the live chat, guys. Quite simple. You know, the live chat is on the portal or on the Quick Trade or Stock Market College website. The live chat things on there. Go on to technical, not me, not trading support, but technical support, and have it download onto your laptop. If you don't have a laptop, just get one. If you still can't get one, well, then you must use the phone. You must. Then you can find the App Store. I've looked in there for something. Okay, hope that answers your question on the calculator. Do not, if you don't know what position size to go in, stop trading immediately. Do not trade unless you know how to modify a stop loss. I don't know how to close, don't know how to operate the platform, basically, and don't have a correct calculate to correct the correct position size. You can't work out. It's like shopping without a budget. When you're not a rich person, you get a certain salary. You know what your budget is. You know what your rent or bond is. You know what insurance is or whatever. You just don't go shopping willy nilly. You budget. Same principle. Don't just go in because you feel like I'll go in 0.01 this one, 0.01 without the slightest idea in the differentials. You must learn the position sizing. Absolutely vital. So, does anyone want to do this now? Don't forget, if you're in the GBP USD and you're in the AUD USD, don't forget you're already in $2 denominated forex. Diversification is the name of the game. If you're in $3 ones, unless ones are short the dollar, buying the dollar, it's slightly different. But if you're buying or selling the dollar on all three, remember it might be different currencies. The dollar common denominator means you're overexposed in the dollar. Don't forget that. Oh, that made sense. The maid's coming today. She probably thinks I'm just house sitting my sister's place. She's coming back today. Probably thinks I'm going crazy. Sitting there on my own, talking to a computer screen. Oh, always another point, guys. Free margins, quiet session, a public holiday. So I'm going through some other stuff, unless you find a trade, that always comes first. So I reiterate stuff which people like Anna Marie Farney are probably sick of their hearing. But anyway, people coming as well, New York guys, always make sure you've got enough free margin. For goodness sake, if you don't have enough free margin, that position will be closed when you run out of it. Margin means deposit. The deposit is the collateral. And if the lender of the balance runs out of collateral, they will fall in the loan. In other words, close your position. Doesn't matter if you're selling short and your stop's up here. If you're overexposed and it jumps up here in the noise, you got no free margin. That trade will be closed for you. Don't enter a trade unless you've got enough free margin, not just before, but after the trade is completed. How do you work that out? I'm just going to do the maths on it. Okay. If not sure, make sure. If you get actually, I'll tell you right now, margin of get 8%, you're going to get margin call. And they won't pick and choose, they'll just close the biggest one. That might be the one you like in profit, in fact, even that's so beautiful in profit, the biggest one will close, release margin in your account. If it still goes again, still close again until margin's released. 80%, so rather ignore the 80% level of the margin, make sure you try and keep your free margin above 100, even 110 or something. One of the problems with people when they come into this, they don't want to put much in, either can't afford it, but a lot of the time they can, but they're scared. It's new. Of course, it's new. You don't want to put everything into something you're not sure of yet. The problem is nothing trying to grab money out of you. I'm just trying to give you rational common sense here. If you've got a little money, let's say you got below $1,000, a lot of the trades you can't take because you're going to be overexposed, even the smallest position of 0.01. We call that a micro, by the way. Don't forget that. And number two, you can't diversify. Because even before you go into one trade, or let's say the Euro JPY example, you haven't got enough money or free money left to go to the second one. So all your eggs are always consistently either being in one basket, or you're going to miss a lot of trades that might be very good, simply because you'd be overexposed going into them. Everything's against you. So if you could try and get out a couple of bucks, that's fair enough. But if you think you're going to make money with 400 or 500 rand, sorry guys, don't be harsh here. It's not going to happen. You want to go into business. What business can you buy for a few $100? You know what I'm saying? I know the Kentucky Fried Chicken owner's doing well, but he paid a few million for it. So you know what I mean? You've got to have some sort of give and take, a risk reward, not risk reward, no, give and take ratio. It's not all taken and no give. Just remember that. So just basically bear in mind, you need capital as well as knowledge and equipment to do the job. I'm not sure it's selling gold. Okay. Just because you've got free margin, say you're going to go into it. Most people have free margin for gold because the contract size is only 10. You know that because you left click, you right click, and you go to specifications, and it says 10. If it says 10 on that one, and it's only $1,800, gold's only $1,800 odd, or $1,900 odd, Just bear that in mind. 0.01 is very little, but it'll tell you anyway on the calculator when you do your risk reward. So remember, you might have 30 rand a micro on the gold, but it might be 120 rand a micro on the euro dollar. So don't go 0.01 the euro dollar, 0.01 gold, because you can see it's a big difference. You've got to do the maths. If you want to risk 200 rand and it's 40 rand a micro, well, there you go, 0.05. If it's 150 rand a micro, you go 0.01. You just got to bear that in mind. That's what the calculator's for. You've got to have that basic mathematical or arithmetical understanding. It's absolutely imperative in life. But if you can't read or write, you can't do basic percentage arithmetic, and you haven't got internet, and you don't understand what a computer is, it's difficult to get a job because we are reliant on it today, like we're reliant on electricity, which we weren't maybe a couple hundred years ago. Same principle. Okay, you want to sell it? I think it's just jumping around. Powell tomorrow will affect it big time. Don't forget that. So I think it's just going to move around a bit. It's a reality chart. It's gone up to there, come off a bit, but I think it'll probably jump back up again. I think I'm expecting there probably about $10, $15 range. Either way, if you want to play that range, take your pick, take your chances. But I wouldn't be selling it now. I wouldn't be touching it now. It will be affected by the what comes out with Powell interest rate decision, and not just that, the Q&A afterwards, as the guys ask him what he sees going forward the economy, the problems with the banks, which are all well known now, etc. So there's no set cut idea of what's going to happen. Don't ask, don't know. And if I said I thought that, you can't base a trade on what I thought might happen, because it just easily might not. It's a guesswork. Don't know who you are. That's why I don't care if you're chairman of the board of Goldman Sachs. What will happen during that speech tomorrow, we can only but guess at. So gold, from this level here, actually I'd leave it alone. I think it might get a short-term bounce up to maybe back to 1980, and then it might hover and come down. I don't know. I don't see a clear-cut direction for that at the moment. I think it's going to drift. There you are. If you're a range trader, and Marzi, you like the range trade, maybe trade the range. Buy it up to there, maybe this area here, and then if you put a stop just below there, if it breaks, maybe a $5 stop, and trade it up there. And if it comes off, put a $5 stop, trade it down, have a bash of that, but don't go in big. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Okay. But just remember again, free margin is very important. You've got to remember you're not in equity, you're in leveraged positions. So a lot of guys, equities are risky, but it's still an investment over a long term. This is short-term speculation, not short-term investment, short-term speculation. We're speculating. Remember, the pension funds cannot trade this. It's far, far too risky to put people's pension funds in it. They use it for hedging their portfolios. Okay. This is speculation, so you've got to make sure at leverage, it's much, much quicker. When you put a deposit down, leverage trading is much, much quicker. So therefore, as a result, you've got to make sure you know you've got money you can afford to lose, and you've got money that you make sure you work with that strict stop loss capability. This is not the same. I can't afford to lose. I've got my last 1,000 rand. You have to go to the bank. Even equity is dangerous. This is far too dangerous for that. Especially to ask a question like that means you haven't got much knowledge anyway. So it even amplifies the situation you're going to be in. If you don't know, don't have much money, can't afford to take the loss, which you will do when you start. You'll stall the car when you start. Just be circumspect on that. This is not a license to print the stuff. You get lucky sometimes, it gets very good, but just be aware of it. Hope you're okay with that. I'm licensed to give advice. One of the exam takes on integrity, and I take that quite seriously. And this is where we learn the reality. Out there on Instagram and that, you learn the dream. Here we learn reality. And to attain the dream, you've got to have some reality. All good. Right, let's go back to see it. That's coming off a bit. Bloody marvelous. Coming off a little bit. Thank goodness for that. Okay, maybe come right. AUD USD, probably hovering at a guess. Yeah, hovering a bit. Brent, hovering, no surprise there. But anyway, it seemed okay. And the GBP, I was against that. Guys, yeah, it's coming off. I was more the downside. I was leave it alone to downside. It's about 5 pips in the blue. Sorry, 5 pips in the red. It was 5 pips in the green just now. So who knows? Okay. Oh, that's right. GBP is something you mentioned earlier. I forgot about that. What was that? Just remember, I want to put that person first. GBP NZD. Sorry, Charles. GBP NZD. I use a daily. You use what you like. I use a daily for my strategy. Yeah, I thought there might be possibly a pullback on that. I still think the dollar is a bit, the New Zealand dollar is a bit oversold, and I think the pound's a bit overbought. So I'm still saying I'm a bit nervous to join us along at these highs. Is that head and shoulders for a short? Could be. It's a weekly, a bit long term maybe. But who knows? I mean, the definite momentum's up, but I'm just nervous to buy at these levels. And you're certainly preempting it to short that's in the buy zone, powerful upside momentum. I'd be very nervous to sell it without much better confirmation, maybe a break of 197 or something like that. GBP is getting the CPI out tomorrow. I think it is. Check your economic calendar. That would affect it. Having said that, I'm a bit scared to join it now. I think it's a bit overcooked at that level. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. Anyone got more backbone and guts and not as much fear as me? Any tigers out there? Never mind the cluck chicken Roger. Anyone want to back up Anthony on a buy at these levels? I'm not saying you're wrong at all. Plenty of upside potential right up there. Plenty of upside if you think it's still good. Certainly the buy zone will give you that. I'm just a bit nervous the reason I gave. Anybody like the look of this as a buy? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I tell you something. With more experience, you've seen some bad things in life. You tend to be more scared than the young. When you're young and new, you're immortal. When usually the fear comes, you're more experienced with it. If you've seen things that have gone wrong in your past, you tend to be a bit sort of more circumspect. That's the trouble with all the buggers. But yeah, what do you think? Anyone see the long of this one, the weekly or the daily? It doesn't really matter. Anyone to do this one? Hang on to your chickens for now. Clear the momentum's up, but it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days out of pullback, really almost 10 days out of pullback. Ooh. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm with you on that, Marie. 10 days out of pullback, I don't know. That's not the strongest currency in the world. In fact, quite a decent one. That's certainly not the strongest currency in the world. In fact, not that great a one. You mind that? Well, I don't know about that. Well, the momentum's up. There's no doubt about it. I've been scared there, I'll be honest. And if you bought there, you'd be doing okay. I would have said buy there, and I'd have been scared. I'm even more scared now, but it could still go up. I'm just putting my point of view. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. That's up to you. I'm just giving my opinion. Anybody want to do this? I'll just hang on for a second while people drum up the nerve to say yes or no. LIA, guys, is the slang we use in the trade for leave it alone, if you want to do that. You want to do it? My goodness, he's a brave guy. Good for you. Mind of your own there. Where can you put the stop down here? Maybe a bit further, maybe a bit further. 50, maybe down to here. Need a wide stop, about 100 pips down to these guys. Wasn't there for 3 days. That's for the weekly. Sorry, 3 times 4 hours. Beg your pardon. It's only a day. It's fine. Just put a line in the sand to remember that. Put the stop there. The TP, we've got to the weekly. And put the TP there, I think. Adjust it just now. And 1.9944. Well, there's your ritual, no problem. 120 bucks a micro. If you've got a grand or more, even a grand's a bit small, that's 12% is too high. Normal international risk is 2%. But if you got less than 3 grand, you can look at about maybe 10%. When you go to 5 grand, maybe 5%, maybe up to 10. Once you go above 10 grand, start reducing to 3% till you get about 50, 60, 70 thousand rand in your account, then maybe look at 2% or so. But that's 12%, it's about 12% risk on a grand. So I suggest 1,500 rand or more in your account balance. Make sure you have not free margin, balance. But make sure if you've got 1,500 rand or more and enough free balance, maybe go 0.01 if you believe in it. Okay, so there you are. For sure, look at that, Michael. So there you are. Anyone want to take it? If you do, I'll write it down. If you don't, I won't write it down. I stated my case, but I say I've been wrong before. The last 2 trades came out of the trade and they were right. Anyone want to take it? Anyone else apart from Derek want to take this one? Please say so or I'll move on. Michael's going to take it. Okay, well, I'll put it down. Some brave guys out there, eh? Good luck. I like them. Brave. Favor the fortune, they say. Fortune favors them, I mean, buy. Right, this down. Stop waffling. 1.9738. 1.
I just check on investing.com and it's quite going green for now on 0.46%. So I think I might take it.
Okay. If you want to take it, that's your choice, of course.
Okay.
What if you have? Okay, Jen, no problem. Stay up for a few moments. There we are. See if it comes right. Can leave it now? Right. Talk about the Dow and the Nas. We'll start with the Dow. I'm still happy with the downside. Well, I would be because I'm in it. But I'm trying not to talk because the fact I'm in it. I'm still happy with the down on the weekly. So I just give the daily there. So the daily. I'm still happy with my idea of the downside. You can see clear in the chart. It's right at the top of the range. My overall, and I've cited my reason for it many, many times out there to you guys. My reason being is it's a bear market at the moment, and it's backed up by the fact it's below all those major moving averages. Maybe not the 10, but the 200 is. That's a strong one. 50 is a strong one, and that's reasonably strong, the 100 as well. And it hadn't been, and this is a daily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nearly 2 weeks, it hadn't been above that and held it. So I'm still thinking of selling the rally. I still think it's a bit of a bounce in the bear market, selling the rally. Not meaning too well at the moment. It's about 100 pips or so in profit and down. But I've got a 300-400 pip stop. We can do that. Well, I've done the normal one, but if people go on the micro, can do that with a wide stop because it's very noisy. Go up a couple hundred pips a Dow is a big deal from that point of view. It's not like Forex. You've got to understand the difference, the properties of that instrument. Okay, so on the basis of that one, yes, we do. Not Naspers, no, it's all JSE. Right, so the Dow Jones, I'm still for the short. If you're not in the short, take it. If you're in the short already, hold it. That's my take. If you're not in the short, you're going to get a better risk-reward ratio. I'll come to that in a minute, just a reason why, Vicky. Right, anybody not in it wants to take this as a short. If you're in the long, no problem. Doesn't mean you suddenly close it. You should have been a profit, but that's going against the trend. I'm getting a bit nervous now as it closes on this 200-day moving average. What you can do with either cut your position, close it, or move your stop up to protect in case it breaks up. Clearly, we hope it doesn't. But do you want to buy it? Can do at these levels. Just because I suggest a short them, so I'm right. On the micro, yeah. I only touch the normal one. This is the micro. If on the Dow, if you got 10 grand or more in your account. If you haven't got 10 grand or more in your account, go for the micro. I'll continue to put the micro up here. Remember tomorrow, Wednesday, 1 o'clock till 2. Any of you guys there don't understand the difference in the micro, normal one. I'm going to the properties with it and explain the difference on 1 hour Zoom tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I think we'll send out, because it's a different ID to this one. It sounds everyone, but I'll just do a reminder in the training room. I'll copy and post it or whatever it is, paste it or whatever it is, to you, but it's a slightly different one. But yeah, I'll probably put it on the my QT group as well, the guys who are already on there. Just a reminder, but I think most of them know it already. But there, just remember tomorrow, Wednesday, just going through the micro indices, how it can be important to you to trade them. You cannot trade the Dow below 10. You cannot trade the NAS below 5,000 on a normal one. People want to do it, they can't. So they haven't got enough money, so they do the micro. That's open to everybody. Okay. I'm going to use the same stop loss as we had before. 52577. That's already there. You see, you got a massive risk reward now, because we got in there actually a lot lower price. I'm sticking with it. It's not pretty at the moment, but I'm sticking with it. But now you can go in, and it's only $100. Sorry, keeps getting to 0.02. Beg your pardon. About 50 bucks, 50 bucks a micro. So there's affordable. If you go on the normal, it's 500 Rand a micro. So if you got a 0.02 on this one, you'll be risking 1,000 Rand. Clearly, you need about 25,000 Rand in your account to go 0.02 with 1,000 Rand risk at the price it is now. Never mind when we entered it yesterday. You get my point. So make sure it's a micro. If you haven't got it, get it. And you haven't got time to do it now, don't trade it. So there we are. Don't add to your position unless you want to. You've got enough money and you like the idea. You can add to it. That's up to you. But the point is, if you're not in, there you are. I won't be putting the micro up on it. I won't put the normal up. I'll put the micro. Same prices, just so you can see it clear in your face. The guy, I think it was Emco yesterday, went in the normal by mistake. And he came right, thank goodness, with a bit of moral support from his family-friendly traders, and he came right in the end. But I'll bet, you know, he had a little rather a nervous moment or two. He came right in the end. Don't get yourself in that situation. So there you are. Leave it on for a moment. Anyone not on board can join us. There you are. All good? Move on. Go back to it if you want it again. Right, go to the NAS. That was the next one called on. I'll just have a quick look at gold for a minute. Coming off a bit. Thought it might do. Was it breaking the range? Yeah, still holding that range. Some buyers came back in again. If you're a range trader, you can put your TP back at that, make it 1980. And your stop loss, make it 1960. There you are. I'll get risk reward, a range trade. High risk, very aggressive out there. Okay, NAS. Yep, NAS again for a short. I'm already in it as a short. Obviously the worst price, but I've got a wide stop. Not going to stop it now. Yeah, it's 12.8's my stop. And I still see, even as the buy zone, I'm still very bearish on the international markets. And I still think I'd rather be short than long them. So including the shares, by the way. Remember, the index makes up a basket of shares. So you wouldn't want to be buying shares and shorting the index. It's a contradiction in terms. Okay, Anthony. Good stuff, Umpo. Right, so if you like the NAS as short, if you like the buy, tell them. That's up to you. I'm just suggesting a short. So if you're in already, hold it. If you're not, you want to go in as a short, I'll put it up for you. Anyone like to look at this one as a short? Okay, we've got a 12.8. We might make it a bit wider at that price. Might make it a bit wider. Yeah, we did make it a bit wider at that price. Maybe make it 12.9. Up to you. We've got a 12.8 one, but we make it a bit wider at a higher price. So put the guy just above here. You see, you can do it on the micro. Put it just up there, out the way. And the TP we can put back down here. that gives us enough. What have we got down here anyway? Use the old TP. 11,878. Make it straight 12,000. Plenty of $50 a micro. There you go. Make sure it's not the normal. If you're on the normal, it'll be 500 Rand a micro. Then 500 Rand, we normally look 10 grand your account. Got a wide stop on this one. So that's a micro, that's affordable for everybody. Even the guy with 500 can do it. If you've got less than 500, I personally think you can't trade without going it, without overexposing. It counts just too small. Got a guy there, put 50 in, and wants to know if I can up it to 100. I'm not going to be rude to the guy, you're wasting your time. You know what I mean? It's a $1 trillion international market. You're going against with a slingshot against a tank. You know what I mean? Just rather do the job properly, you know. Or play around if you want, it's up to you. Okay, but there you are. There you are. And if you got the micro, I think you saw yourself pretty well done there, Mo, yesterday. I think it was yourself. Saw it out. So, yeah, you can do it. $50. You're going to sleep easy on that one. Not the other one, the Dow. Eh? We had 0.02. Hey, it's not the way to get a good night's sleep. As it turned out, it worked out, but still. There's a stuff for if you want to join. I'll write it down. We've already got one out there. But guys joining late, giving you in favor of a better price. Okay, should we move on? Happy with that? Can I take it away? Right. Okay. Where we gold's still coming off, so maybe we're wary of that. But don't be shorting it. I would do anything with it at the moment. The funding's coming out, but don't expect a big decent pullback. What's the US dollar doing? 103 is no, wouldn't be too cute in it. What's the yields doing? Hovering. Don't expect too big a pullback. I think it might get a bit of a jump from here. How's our friend GBP CHF? Start to get some traction on that one. About bloody time. Get going, my friend. Okay. Oh, I'm for the short. Don't understand the reasons why. There's massive debt out there. A lot of problems with the bank with giving all this free money away during COVID. When you have a 0% interest rate or near and damn it, that's basically giving away free money. And you're going to pile up debt because you're encouraging people to use banks' money, debt, rather than their own money. If I'm going to lend you 10,000 Rand at 0% interest, you'd rather borrow the money and use your own cash because it's not costing any anything to borrow the money. Be no point. You know what I'm saying? I'll give an example. I'm selling you a product right now for 20,000 Rand. You can buy it cash or you can pay it off at 200 Rand a month interest free. But if you pay cash, that would be stupid because you're paying for money cash when you're getting no return on it. So you might as well use the free money. So it'd be absolutely, if you had $1 million Rand, it'd be senseless to pay cash if you're getting interest free. You get my point. And that was virtually the situation in Europe and the East and almost in America, just above 0%. Now it's come back to bite. The problem is they're putting up interest rates because it increases inflation. You do it to stimulate the economy. What happens then is the guys who don't know anything about money go and borrow to the maximum, let's say at 0%, or 1% or 0.5%. Interest rates goes up to 5%. They can't afford to pay back the loan. So if you can't afford to pay back the loan, you're going to basically go, you're not going to pay it back. And I can scream and shout you, who's asked, but Derek, I'll scream and shout you, Derek, you've got to pay me back, I'll sue you. And you turn around and say, do what you like, mate. I don't have the Tom. I just literally can't afford to pay back the loan. I can afford it at 200 Rand a month, but now I can't. It's gone up to 250. I cannot budget for it. That's why the banks have these troubles, because when the money goes to the bank, they sit there in a vault. It's lent out to people, and that's where they get their money from. Now, if the interest goes up, as more people borrow and live in debt than they do on savings, it becomes a problem for the bank. So now it's becoming an issue. So because this debt far higher, world debt far higher than GDP, it's coming home to roost, all this borrowed money. And so as a result of it, that's the basic reason I'm bearish on these markets. Okay, so I'm looking for a short for those reasons. Okay. And you can tell anyway, immediate short, because the stop loss is above and the TP is below. It's got to be a short. If it was a long, the stop loss would obviously be below. You can tell immediately. Hope all clear on that. All good there, Derek? I don't want to confirm, but I know I go on a bit, but I want to make sure you're all learning for a reason. I don't want you to go, I want you to be able to do it yourself rather than be parrot fashion. So I want to know the reason why I'm coming out of it. And it covers my ass. A damn good reason you agree with it, it goes wrong. Well, we didn't go in for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Okay, all good. Good stuff. We sure can. I'm in it, so I'm very keen for that. Look at the 15-minute. Trying to come off. Don't know what price you got in, but at least it's trying to come off. It's a lot better it was than a couple of hours ago. It was right up there. So maybe it'll come right. Must admit, this NAS is giving us some jip. But it is hovering that range, so maybe okay. Brent's doing okay. Hey, Brent's doing nice. Yeah, he's doing very well. Obviously, someone came up to jump that. I don't know what that is. When you suddenly get a big move like that, I don't know, maybe a big buyer in the Middle East came out. I don't know, some institutions for whatever reason. Never mind. The result, it's looking good now. So that we're now $3 an ounce in profit on that one. Anybody in it, make sure you've modified your stop loss. Don't forget, modify your stop loss to just above entry so you can't lose in the trade. And you're protected, and see if we get to, might even get to its target, who knows? Yeah, I think 72 is okay for a modified stop loss. Yeah, yeah. But please use some common sense. If you got in 72.20 and you've got modified to 72, you're not breaking even. But if you got to 73.50, don't put your stop loss to break even because it's near the end. You know what I mean? You've got to use a bit of common sense on this one. I use, when I say to break even, I'm using where the bloody signal went out at. If you want a different price, it's fine. If you want a better price, all the better. Don't forget, to get a better price, all the better. Let's buy this at 74 and at 73.50. You wouldn't put a buy stop in, you'd buy it at market because you're getting a better price. You've got to look at the signal. Has a ship sailed or are you getting a better price? You've got to do some thinking on this. Well, then if you got 70.45, what a pleasure. Put it at 72, absolutely. That's information Vicky's offering. I'm not pulling it out of it. Frustration with time when I'm dealing with people, it's like pulling teeth. They come up on the WhatsApp and say, hi. Well, hi. I was told you help on something. I don't know who I'm dealing, what, where, or why, you know. Just say, this is John Smith, real account number 193257. Please, I've got more than the 2,500 around, $150. I would like you to upload me to your WhatsApp group that you mentioned on the trading room. Do that, not like hi. It takes time. It's like drawing teeth. Give give the information, and it speeds the process up. Because by the time I've got all the information, there might be a trade in the ship has sailed. So we'll get the idea. So don't have to bombard me. I talk too much. I know that, but try and at least release some information. Then I got correct data, or I might act on data that's wrong because you gave me half the story. I'm going to the shops. Great. Well, you didn't say I'm going to the shops next year, not today. That's a piece of information I would need. Hope you're with me. But yeah, 72 is fine. $2 away from where it is now. Perfect. I like to keep $2, but sometimes let's see if there's any resistance there. Might even make a slightly tighter stop. Suddenly getting a bit of a jump. Might pull back. Say put it at 73, it might pull back, stop you out and go further. Maybe risk 72.50. There you are. So if something goes wrong, well, you still get a decent $2 an ounce profit. You get my point. There you are. Maybe 72.50 should do. Doing nicely that trade. Good stuff. We'll quickly have a look at AUD USD. It's slightly in profit, a bit quiet. Just look at the price there. You can see it there. USD had my doubts on that one. As a long, I was more looking to maybe come off a bit. It's coming off as we speak, but not much to give you a trade either way, in my opinion. The goal was the range trade, round about the 65 to something like that might be a possibility if you want to take that. Dow's still going up, but I'm not sure how long that's going to go on for. Get a better look at the 15-minute. So it's not really a sustained move. I think the NAS, same story. Yeah, it's come off a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. Okay. Joe, the GBPNZD, we just got in and tell you much. You guys want to buy it? I was against it. See if you're right. Well, nothing's happening at the moment, so neither right nor wrong at the moment. Okay. Right. I just want to come to Vicky at the moment. I get the impression from what I'm feeling, some of the questions you're asking, Vicky, you're starting to get some idea what's going on. I hope that's correct assumption, because I want to stir it out as a bit of encouragement to all the newer guys out there. Vicky, and be honest with you now, I get the impression you haven't been trading that long, but if you have, let us know. If you've been trading for about a year, just be honest about it, because then fair enough. But I get the impression, Vicky, you've only been started trading for about maybe a month, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, right? That is very encouraging to guys. You want to become a lawyer, Derek? Yeah, it's going to cost you a couple of hundred, maybe 300,000 Rand in fees and residence while you're studying and costs, because you're not earning unless you're waitering or something. To do it, and even your waiting, still costing you to do it, you know. And then there's no guarantee you're going to pass, and you're useless as a lawyer for at least 4 years till you take the exam and hopefully passed it. Vicky's doing it 4 weeks, and he's seemed to, after 4 weeks, because he's regularly attending, he's interacting, and no, he's not the world's top trade at the moment. Sorry, Vicky, you're not. But my goodness, after 4 weeks, he's got a large lion's share of what the hell's going on. So that is not just meant as a pat on the back for Vicky, which it is, but it's an encouragement for other guys as well. Not to think 2 years later, don't know what the hell's going on. And to pat the trading room on the back, now we're giving out compliments. I've had guys like Farney and that been trading for a lot longer, and they found they progress far better with an understanding of the markets. Doesn't always reflect the bank account, to be honest. Sometimes you get lucky, I get that. But the understanding of the markets has progressed far more by regularly attending the trading room. I'm going to bring Wandile into this, and who's still on board here, or maybe he's left. But I think Wandile would agree. He probably knows more. He's been doing about a month now as well, maybe slightly less, I don't know. But I guarantee we got a large amount of clients, a very small percentage joining the trading room. And I'm prepared to guarantee he knows more than those so-called experts who don't need to go to the trading room. Oh, I've been trading, you can't tell me. Well, okay, fair enough. But some of the trading strategies they do questions that veracity, if you see what I mean. So I knew Wandile. I mean, I'm not just checking it out, you know, for the sake of it, but you're catching on as well. So stick with it. And remember, you're not going to pick it up in one day. It's ongoing. I had Morris the other day, who learned something. He'd been trading for a little bit of time. Well, I didn't know. Some simple little thing, like just keep your arms straight on the backswing in golf. You didn't know that, and what a difference it can make. Just little tweaks sometimes. All helps. Okay. But it means you also encourage me to interact. People don't put their hand up, ask a question. I ask them, do you know this? I don't say, no, I don't. They're scared. And in the end, it backfires. But NZD, GB is long in it, yeah? It's in the profit now. So you roughy, toughy, brave Marines there, trading Marines there, look like you might be coming right. Let's hope. Okay. It's going to be a slight truncated version. It was already nearly 20 to 11 anyway. So we'll carry on a little bit more just to see, just to recap anything you want to look at open trades at the moment, GBP, CHF, let them run. Remember, a lot of people say it's going against me, should I close it? My normal answer is, unless something radical happened, is stick with the strategy. You've shorted it, then we'll pretend it's a short, and you shorted it here, and your stop loss up here. I won't see something jump out, it's going against you. It's going to happen with the noise. If your strategy is there, you got your volumes right, stick with the strategy. If you're stopped out, well, so be it. But nothing worse than it goes against you, you take the loss, and it turns around, comes up, and hits TP. It happened a couple of times a couple of weeks or so ago when the US dollar yen. 2 trades came about 4 or 5 pips of the stop loss, and both times in the end and hit it. Not just stopped out in a profit after modifying your stop loss, actually hitting the TP. Yeah, but it's not supposed to pat. I'm trying to sort of wind up his backside. It's supposed to say well done, but the idea is to encourage other people. But yeah. But actually, when you said, which it is, quite amusing. I'm not going to tell you a word of a lie. When someone says that, it usually means you're about to hear a real whopper. To be honest with you, you start thinking, hang on, now what's he going to say? It's going to be a lie. US dollar CAD. Oh, I have to be honest with you. Why? Well, you've never been honest with me in the past. Just a turn of phrase, but can be amusing. I get you. Okay, dollar CAD. Let's look at the daily. We got a trade out on that at the moment as a buy, if I remember rightly, 3,666. Not doing much. 6 pips in profit. If you like it, it's clearly 6 pips. The ship hasn't sailed. It's 6 pips in profit. If it's below that, you get a better price, no problem. But 6 pips above, the ship hasn't sailed. If it goes 10.50, maybe the ship has sailed. Too late to join. 6 pips, maybe you can do it. Actually, it's on 10 on the bid. I saw on the buy, on the ask. But yeah, it's up a little bit. No trading this afternoon, no. Derek, sorry, have to run. No trading this afternoon. It's holiday. So I'm just doing the morning and then I'm knocking off, closing off the computer, do some shopping, do some stuff. I'm just filling in to help you guys because I'm so wonderfully nice. And the most lovable thing about me is my intense modesty as well. But just talking nonsense, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm just doing a morning session today. Oh yes, by the way, guys, I'll put my WhatsApp number. Please don't WhatsApp me if you've only got a demo account or you've got less than 500. Don't be rude. You're wasting your time as well as mine. £5 grand or more on a live account, and you've got $2.5 grand or more, or $150, something like that. Depends your dollar grand account. Also, let me know, and I'll upload you to the VIP. All that means you get daily updates, but that's not really that important. What is important, you get more trading signals when they're there. Not every day. If there's not there, we won't give you one. I'm not going to send you out 10 signals just because it seemed like a good idea at the time. You've got to hopefully they're okay. So I'll put that up for you now. And please, if you do, just say, hi there, saw in the trade room. A lot of people in the trade room. Put your full details down. Right. Okay, it's Roger. Trading support. I've got people saying what's saying, I need help. I feel like replying. I feel honestly, my wife says I need help as well. But I think maybe that bit of sarcasm might be a bit, perhaps on the maybe undiplomatic side. But I need help doesn't mean anything. You know, you've got to give some data. There you are, guys. There's the WhatsApp. Don't call, it takes too long. WhatsApp me. If I can't answer a voice message, that doesn't come, I will call you. But therefore, you can WhatsApp me, 500, you get the odd single MT5, and you get the benefit, but only for trading. Don't ask about Stock Market College, go to Stock Market College, guys. Account manager is there not for trading advice. They're not qualified to do that. You've got to be qualified for the FSCA to do it. They're for helping out an account and those sort of admin areas. Any problem with the technology side, your logins or whatever, you go to live chat, technical support. My job is purely to cover, because I'm the only one who likes to do it, is to cover trading advice, signals, trading and systems. Trading on QuickTrade. I work for QuickTrade, not Stock Market College, a separate company. Don't forget that. And don't forget MetaTrader 5 platform. That's a separate company as well. They're the platform which many brokers use. And so just remember that's the separation there as well. See you tomorrow, Anna Marie. Okay. And if you've got more than $250, do you want to be uploaded to the VIP? It's no cost, it's free, but you just need to get more. Let me know on the WhatsApp. Okay. I'm probably a bit quiet today. If I have a WhatsApp with me, I'll reply to anything, even if it's a day off or whatever going forward. A bit quieter, probably the computer off, but I have my phone handy. Well, probably because I'm trading, have it on. But I mean, what I'm saying is I'll be knocking off after this room here. but it doesn't mean to say if you can't, if you WhatsApp me, I carry my phone around with me. Okay. And I've got a portable router, so I'll be online. But no afternoon session, and be back running again tomorrow. Human rights to all. Okay, guys. Just before I knock off, because it's a truncated version there, just want to quickly check to see if anything's happening on the Dow or any of those. Well, it's happening, but not the way we want it to happen. But it is, I think, still, this is the way. If it takes out that 200-day moving average, I'm going to be worried, to be honest. I just hope it doesn't do that. And the NAS, same story. If it takes these guys out, I'm going to be a worried man. Okay. Cheers, guys. That's all I think for now, unless anyone's got a quick question. You all got the number now. You all got the economic calendar. You've got the DXY. You've all know how to look at specifications to know what the properties are of the instrument. You all now know how to get it if you haven't got the position size calculator. You all know now that it does not work for shares. That's separate. And you all know now that CFD shares like Google, etc., only open at 3:30, and it's a separate calculator. And hopefully, just one last thing, if you haven't done it, right click, go to templates, please save your template or your chart. Okay? Make sure you put in your name and save it. If you lose your charts, it's a simple matter of regaining them by going to templates and clicking on the template, and it'll come back again. Very important. Okay. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we did some good out of it. Hope you learned some stuff. And, well, catch you tomorrow.
Roger.
Yeah, go for it, Fanny.
Sorry about this. I see there was a question from Marius with regards to the Euro NZD. Did you answer him?
To be quite honest, sorry, I do beg your pardon. I must have missed that. I do beg your pardon. I've tried to put on, go on to somebody else, and then the chat line. If people come on, it moves up the chat line, it goes out of view. Euro NZD. Well, I don't know what it was then. Well, how much it suddenly shot up? Let's have a look at the 15-minute. No, it's gone up in the last hour or so. I presume in the buy zone, he'd be buying it, but I'm not sure I'll be buying it now. It's sort of weekly. What's it? I'll tell you what, I'll throw it back in your court. Oh, did it? On a short. Oh, goodness, scared. Buying it, I wouldn't have been too keen on buying it. Euro is not that weak, and the NZD is okay, but it's not that strong. So they're fairly even Stevens, and the moderately in the buy zone. I get your point. Our stage would overvalued and overbought, but at that same stage, I wouldn't be buying it now, even though it's as high as that, and it's jumping the gun to sell it. I would say leave it alone. Right. What do you mean? If you get the right price, you can go in 100 times it turns you on. There are traders, prop traders, going 1,000 times a day, low costs, etc. They go and take a couple of pips because they haven't got the prices. So there's no problem there. But so it depends. If you get a good price, then as much as you like. Just remember, you've got costs involved. You've got to overcome those costs. It's no good jumping in and out of the NAS or the Dow because you've got a 12 pip spread. You haven't covered your spread. So that's pointless. You know what I mean? So you've got to understand that point. As many as you like, as long as it remains profitable for you. Hope that makes sense. When to get out, that's up to you. We can give you advice, but with stop loss and TPs. But we can't say, should I close it now? I can't make that comment. I don't know. We might continue up. I don't know. What's going to happen to this? Look at it, it's at 30 now. Where's it going to go up to 40 or 20? I have the slightest idea. Nobody on planet Earth, only God knows that. Nobody on planet Earth knows that. Maybe someone in the Andromeda galaxy, but no, that's 2 million light years away. But what I'm saying is that short-term movement is nobody knows. We take an overall view. My overall view is that's overcooked, but I'm not confirmed to short it, so I'm not going to go into it. But if you've gone along and it suddenly comes off a bit, should I suddenly close? That's just emotions taking it. You got a strategy, you got your stop loss, TP, you worked out your volumes, you've got your strategy, stick with it. Modify your stop loss. Okay, hope that answers your question. Okay, guys, If you're all good, I'll catch you, well, tomorrow. Fantastic, Londili. Thank you. Cheers, Brian.